What's up, everyone? I hope you guys can hear me. I hope you guys are good as well. Charles is saying here, big up to you guys. If Palmer doesn't turn up with no answers, we should have lost that match. If they had taken their chances, yeah, if Everton had taken their chances, yeah, we could have lost that match. And if we lost the match, we couldn't complain. At least that's my opinion. But what's up, everyone? I saw Charles' message and I immediately went into interacting with the chat. But I hope everybody that is tuning in is doing well. And yeah, as you see in the title, Stalemate at Goodison Park. This will be a live match review and analysis. Will break down every small or big moment in the match, the chances that Chelsea failed to pounce on, the opportunities that Everton would have gotten, and also wouldn't have gotten a goal for. And this is something that I think is also important. Chelsea Football Club are not in the title race. I'm going to say it here first on the channel, Chelsea Sessions channel. I'm going to say it. Chelsea Football Club are not, N-O-T, not, and it's going to be in all caps, not in the title race. Simple as that. We will discuss all of this and more after this short intermission. We'll be right back. So if you haven't taken the time to like and subscribe or to share the stream to even more people, especially Chelsea fans who would want to react to this, give your thoughts in the chat. Do so now. It's still early. You can do that. We'll be right back. Okay, I can't even talk. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. All right, so let's start off with looking at the lineup. Let me know if you guys are able to see the lineup. First and foremost, let me know if you guys are able to see the lineup. I hope you guys can see it. My screen is somewhat small, so I don't know if that's the same for you guys, but there's a problem with my screen. Anyways, we digress from that. Let's just look at the lineup. Let me know if you guys can see the lineup though. If anything, I'll just try to zoom it in a bit. Let me see if I can do that. That should be better. Is that it? Oh, what did I do? Anyways, technical difficulties. But yeah, let's get through the lineup. So obviously we know Sanchez in goal. That was not a surprise. Gusto came in. Tosin Disasi, Cowell, who was operating somewhat like a left back, full back. Casado Enzo was the midfield. Pedro Neto was on the right hand side. Palmer as the central attacking midfielder as usual. Sancho was on the left hand side as the left winger or the left wide forward. And Jackson was up top. Jackson had, oh my goodness, Jackson had chances galore. It was like he was saying, what we're gonna do, and you know, That, sorry for butchering you guys' ears, but literally that's it. He gave into the Michael Jackson vibes. You know, he was moving like a smooth criminal. He was doing all manner of stuff other than putting the ball in the back of the net. And you know, I'm not a hater of Jackson. I think he's done relatively well this season. But you need to take those chances, those small opportunities that you get can make a difference. And we did not do that. So we put ourselves in a situation where that's just the unfortunate thing. You know, we had the chances, we had chances galore. I'm going to bring up the other item here so that you guys can see the numbers. But let me know what you guys thought about the lineup. What do you think about the approach that Maresca took in the selection of the 11? Do you think that the application was the right thing to do in this match? Let me know what you guys think. I'll give you the chance to give your thoughts. In the meantime, let me head over to the other screen that I have here to look at the numbers in terms of the statistics using FootMob. So let me go to this now. It's a FootMob. Right. So let me see. Right. So this is it. So ball possession. We dominated possession, but that means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, because we did nothing with that possession other than create opportunities and then not take them. That's literally what we did. 75% possession on our end, Everton at 25%. The XG is something that doesn't surprise me because, I mean, the way that we were performing, you can't be surprised by this. But Everton had a 0.39 expected goals or XG, and we had a 0.77 or 0.77. Total shots, we had 12, they had 5. They had 4 shots on target. We had 5 on target. From our 12, they had 4 from their 5 on target. 2 big chances. We had 3 big chances. We missed our 3 big chances. And this also says that they missed their 2 big chances as well. Obviously, they didn't score, so obviously they must have missed it. Accurate passes, we had 90% accuracy with 558 passes. They had 151 with 73% accuracy. They had 20 fouls committed to our 12. They had 2 corners and we had 5. Expected goals, you already looked at that. That's irrelevant. Let me scroll down to here. All right, so the defense is now. So tackles won. For us, we had 15 tackles won, which is a 65%. They had 14 and 48% in terms of the success there. 10 interceptions on there, and we had 2. 5 blocks on there, and we had 1. 21 clearances, they had 13. We had 13, they had 21. 4 keeper saves on both ends. Duels won, 52 on their end, 65 on our end. Ground duels won, 56% accuracy, 58, or not accuracy, success, 56%. Aerial deals won 7 for us, 54%. They had 6, and aerial deals 1, and 46% success in that as well. Successful dribbles, they had 6, which is 35%. 16 for us with 47%. And then we know Robert Sanchez, which to me doesn't really surprise me, was the man of the match in terms of the amount of saves that he had to make, and the clearances and the pressure that he was placed on. I know it doesn't really surprise me, but he had an 8.0 rating from FootMob. Mikalenko was just behind him. Moises Caicedo following. I think Moises Caicedo was one of the few players that actually impressed me in that second half. First half, Mitchell was doing a lot of work. He was being eradicated, in terms of what he could do. That's another thing as well. But in terms of players that impressed me, Caicedo was one of the few options that were actually impressing me, if I'm being honest. But I'm gonna see if I can get some panelists on. So bear with me, guys. We'll go through the other statistics quickly. Bear with me. Let me just send the link to some persons as well, so I can get some other person's opinions. But big up to you, Dante. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining the chat. Once more, big up to you, Charles. I understand your frustration about if Palmer doesn't do much. I thought we were no longer Palmer FC, but I don't know, man. Palmer was marked out of the game. I think he was barely in the match. In all honesty, he had a couple of chances, free kick participation, corner kicks, and that's about it. He barely did anything in this match. But I'm joining here firstly with Dante. So big up to you, Dante. Thank you for joining on the panel. What is your thought on this result against Everton?
Yeah, big up Tyrone and everyone in the chat as well. Yeah, look, tough away game. I think the weather didn't help too much either, so it's pretty tough playing in those conditions, those windy conditions. I've played many times, and the one time I hate playing is when it's windy. I hated playing when it was really windy. So yeah, look, a bit tough. We still had the chances to get a win, but yeah, we just Jackson's finishing unfortunately there a couple of times. Everton were really good. I knew they were going to be very defensive and very strong and physical. And that's we played a little bit into their hands. To be honest, I think we played a bit too much to their. We respected them a bit too much in that first half. We were quite compact, and as if you saw, Caicedo and Enzo were basically both sitting as DMs, not going forward. So we really sat back a bit more. And I think Everton just let us play, pass the ball around that back area, hence the possession and those stats. Still created a couple of good chances, but yeah, just didn't take them. But not enough creation, nowhere near enough. Yeah, we needed to create a lot more than that. So yeah, a little bit disappointing. Second half, Maresca changed it up a little bit. He put more gusto to go into that defensive midfield role next to Caicedo, and then he pushed Enzo Fernandez, a more free roller, to go more forward as well. So that he changed it up a bit, but yeah, not quite enough. They're just too well organized, Everton, for that. So look, it's still a good, strong point away from home. Tough fixture for a lot of teams, not just us, and especially with that weather and that, it's not a bad result. It's not the worst result. It's still a good, point. We didn't lose, and we still got a good result, so that's still positives. And we're still second, so pretty very impressive still to be second at Christmas. I don't think no one predicted that, so we're still doing very well.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, there's a
It's
lot
going
for
to happen,
guys.
these results. It's a long season. Don't forget, we can't win every game. It's going to happen, these results. You're not going to get, some players might be off some games, some might be on. It's just, these results are going to happen throughout a long season. It's just, how you respond, how you work from this. And yeah, and we'll see how we go. But it's not the worst result in the world.
Yeah, fair enough. Right. So you can see right here from FootMob. I mentioned this as well. Robert Sanchez was the highest rated player.
Yeah.
How do you think he did in this match?
He did well. He does what he's good at. He's a good shot stopper. We already know this. He didn't need to play too much from the back, to be honest. He wasn't that involved in the build-up play because Everton didn't pressure up high. So I don't know how many passes he had, but it wouldn't have been many because he wasn't involved in that type of. And when you don't involve him in that type of play, he's going to be a good shot stopper. We know he's a good shot stopper. So yeah, how many touches did he have? If you go down, how many passes?
So he had 15 passes.
That's peanuts.
15
Yeah,
passes.
that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. 29 touches.
29
Yeah,
passes. Yeah.
29 touches. No, that's nothing. Normally they're triple that sometimes. So yeah, no. So you put Robert Sanchez in that position, he's going to do good because he's a very good shot stopper. He's not a bad shot stopper. He's got those long arms, long legs. He's not a bad shot stopper. That's probably one of his strengths. So he didn't have the ball in his hand, at his feet. He didn't have to pass it around too much and do anything. He's not going to do nothing silly. And yeah, so probably deserves the man on the match because of that, because he made again some couple of really good key saves. So yeah, he did very well. Yeah, and he's the highest rated as well. So yeah, he probably deserved to be one of the men of the match. I'm not sure who got it, but yeah, he probably deserves it.
Yeah. And then when you go from right to left, we see Gusto, which according to this he was on the left hand side. So
Yeah, and we did see that a couple of days ago and a previous show and stuff. We did say it's a very big likelihood that Malagusta will play left back, and uh, he might put Disasi in at right back, and that's exactly what happened. Bobby was onto that. He said that he thinks that might happen, and yeah, when I heard him, I'm like, yeah, that's a very big possibility because we saw that twice before in the season when we were down when Cucurella was not available. So he did it again. Yeah, not really influential. and he's not really going to be that influential going forward. Defensively, he'll be solid, but not really influential going forward because that's just not his game. Um, he had that head, the one that was it Jackson. Yeah, when Jackson hit the post, I think came back to him. I think, and he headed it just a bit over. Yeah, he should have brought that ball down, not headed it. Yeah, his body position is all wrong. But again, he's not an attacker. He doesn't know that very well in those situations. Yeah, look, he didn't have the best of games, but he didn't have a bad game. He was pretty solid defensively. He was all over the place, running, shutting down, pressing from the front a bit more, and that's what he was used for. Yeah, second half he went into defensive midfield basically and get out of there. He basically stayed there, and yeah, he did some really good things there as well. But yeah, in the first half, pretty anonymous to be honest, because it's just not his strength playing more. He was the one pushed into that more second as another 10 next to Palmer, sort of around there. And no, again, America's done that again and again. He's not been very effective there at all.
It's very, I don't know, man. It's kind of gutting. Um, I don't know. The performance was all over the place, in all honesty. I mean, he started off well, first half, and then things, the build up was very slow. Gave Everton that chance to regroup whenever they were out of position, which was rare, and they were very deep. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. But I don't know the feel, honestly. We didn't lose the match. But
Exactly.
as I said at the beginning of the stream, I said, and I quote once more: Chelsea Football Club are not in the title race. They're not in the title race. Um,
Come on, Ty. Seriously, we're still second. It's
we're
Christmas.
not in the title. We're not in the title
Come
race
on,
yet.
we're
And
second.
there's a
Of course,
reason
we're in
why
the
I say
title
that.
race. We're second.
There's a reason why I say that. Maresca made this point for a different reason. But I'm going to twist it to say this. You cannot be in the title race and not win matches like this. So we're
No.
not in the title race. So
Matches like this, Manchester City plays every year, and when they won and they still drew or lost on some occasions, Arsenal the same, Liverpool the same. Yeah, it's not easy playing away at Goodison Park. Very small pitch, very close. The fans are very close, and then when it's really the weather's all crazy or the wind's all over the place, as you saw, it's not an easy place to play. So yeah, that didn't really help us. But yeah, look, it is what it is. We move on. It's another point. We stay second, and we're still clear second. So yeah, it's not a bad result.
yeah, fair enough. Welcome, my good friend Bobby. I hope you're well. How are you feeling about the match? I hope you're good.
Yeah, big up, guys. Hi, Ty. Dante, you said you'd send me a link.
Big up, Bobby.
You didn't DM me, so I couldn't see the game. I had no
I
idea
did
where
DM
to.
you, Bobby. I sent you all the details. I have a bit DM'd you. This was days ago.
Wow. Okay. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know.
Have a look. I
But
messaged you. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah. I messaged you. It's on my thing here. Yeah, I did
Uh-oh.
message you.
sure,
Jamarama.
I'll check it later.
Yep.
But yeah, what can we say? You know, um, Everton was always going to be awkward. Sean Dyche, that's what he does, isn't it? He's made a reputation on putting 8 men inside the box in front of the goal. So it's just bullshit football, and the sort of result he aspires to get when he plays better teams. But look, from our point of view, it's a lesson. It's a lesson in being able to find a way to win at times when it's nearly nigh on impossible to win in the Premier League, and that's what makes champions. Um, we're a developing team. I can't say that enough. And this is all part of the development. I mean, last season we were in no position to. I don't think we won there. Can't remember now. Um, and we still have another kind of mini injury crisis to our top players. So look, we can't complain. We got a point, clean sheet. We're still second. Like everyone else, I would have preferred we won, but it's better not to lose, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, we continue to the next one, which I believe is what, Fulham at home on
Yeah.
Boxing Day. So, yeah. I don't know what we can do about these players like Lavia, and I mean, what the hell? Why? What happened now? He hasn't even played and he gets injured. So that's a concern for me. But let's just keep going, one game at a time, one game at a time. We watch Liverpool and Spurs now, although Spurs will never do anything for anybody. They're probably going to.
Bobby out. He's gone.
Yeah. I'm
Dropped
always
out.
scared. I'm always scared. Sometimes because my screen freezes. StreamYard doesn't like me. I'm gonna divorce StreamYard and move to another streaming software because it doesn't like me. I always get kicked off my own streams. But anyways, see if Bobby returns. But just so we can probably expand on the last thing that he said. Injuries are starting to creep in somewhat. It's not as bad as last season or as other teams, but injuries. We hear that Buddy Shield is going to be out for weeks. Fafana, we know that he wasn't going to play for any time for the remainder of this year. So sometime mid-January or something like that, if the reports that I've seen is to be believed. And Lavia, obviously, who was injured. I don't think there's somebody else that was injured or is injured. So,
Yeah.
well, James. I can't forget about James. Oh my goodness.
He's back training as well, which is good. And Lavia is just precautionary, I think.
Yeah.
They don't want to risk him now.
Yeah. Well, big up to you, Jesus is King. Jesus is King is saying that we need a new striker. What do you think about this, Dante?
Yeah, I've always thought that we need a new profile of striker. 100%. I think we need that. As you saw today, in games like this, the low block teams, usually Nicholas Jackson is not effective at all. And he wasn't too bad today, to be honest. He got in two good spaces where he should have put him away, probably both of those goals. So he didn't. He got in some right spaces, but that was more again on a counter attack or a mistake that happened from Everton. But the rest, he's not going to get involved in these games much because there's not much space for him to run into. So yeah, hence he came off again. He brought in Kunku on a bit earlier because of that again. So that's where you need, if you're going to have a striker, you're going to need you need a more physical sort of traditional number 9 where you can cross the ball. You saw we put a couple of really good crosses in, and Nicholas Jackson was sort of attacking it, but then he just didn't get there. He just doesn't anticipate those crosses in that well either. So, yeah, he's not a traditional number 9. We all know that. And that's probably we need something a bit more along those lines. Someone that's a bit more physical, can win the aerial duels. You can put some balls in there across the box and crosses in, and he's going to compete for those every single time. So, yeah, definitely. I think we do need that type of profile striker just to mix it up a little bit. 100%. You're muted. You're muted, mate. Still muted, Ty.
Oh, I'm muted. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
man. Oh. Right. So I'm seeing that this is the lowest rating I think Cole Palmer's gotten this season. I could be wrong, but this
One
is
of the lowest. Yeah. Very low. Yep. And look, I'm just waiting for Maresca. Just take him off. Also, not because it's Cole Palmer. Take him off because he's not having a good game. You got Felix on the bench that can fulfill that role, and he brings something a little bit different. Or move him to the right, move him, a bit to the right, move it around a bit. Put someone next to him there that can play him. Gusto, like I said, cannot play next to Cole Palmer in that first half. They're hardly linked up at all game. Like it's just not going to happen. You've got Felix next to him. That's a different conversation. He's looking for the link up always and will always be more attacking minded, and you're going to get that. So yeah, a bit disappointing. I'm like, bring him on. We're not Cole Palmer FC. Yeah, he's not having a good game. No, take him off. We've got people on the bench that can play. It's not his day. It's not his day. It is what it is. Give Felix a bit of time for him or for Sancho as well. Felix should 100% come on and got a bit of game time, especially against a low block team like a defensive team like Everton. Yeah, we got Bobby back, so maybe Bobby wants to continue.
Hey, Bobby, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I lost contact. Unfortunately, I didn't see the game yet. But I get your point. I listened to the commentary on the fifth stand, and I get your point. I think it may not even be so much that Palmer has, any dip in form. It's just that he's being marked and they're planning for him more, and we've got to mix it up, switch it up, sometimes take him off. It wouldn't have made any difference really if he had come off for Felix today. And I completely concur what Dante's saying. Maybe switching to another part of the field, maybe more on the left this time. You've got to do things a bit differently. I think one thing about playing a team like Everton is that they can lull you into a boring game. That's a funny thing to say, but it's true. Because they're so negative, you just become dogmatic in your performance against them because you've just been hypnotized into this boring, repetitive way of playing. Look, I don't want to complain too much because I think how we dealt with this game is even a mark of improvement still. It's just that we need to have that lethal finishing ability to be able to nick a goal in a game like this. I heard, I didn't see, I heard there was some tremendous goalkeeping by Sanchez, and I heard Tosin put in a good shift and stopped a almost certain goal from Everton with a defensive
Dawson was
block.
the best defender. Yeah, definitely. By far. Yeah. A couple of great challenges, a couple of last minute saves, interception. The
Blokes.
usual stuff. He's very good at that. And he's with his long legs, he can always reach across and get the ball out of an opponent. So yeah, he had a really good game.
Yeah, I mean, I was hearing Jason Cundy and Ben saying that, especially Cundy was waxing lyrical about a block he made after Sanchez parried. And look, I keep saying, we are on the right track. These guys can only improve. Do we need additions? Well, we've got additions coming anyway. The whole Palmer situation, I don't know. Esteval Williams, I personally believe he's going to take time to settle, but he could be another distraction for teams if he fulfills his potential and is as dangerous as we hope he is. It will work out well for us. But yeah, 0-0 at Everton is not bad. Arsenal were forced into a 0-0 draw there as well. So that should tell you everything. And
The weather was really bad, Bobby. You haven't seen it, but the
yeah, I
wind was
heard
ridiculous.
it was quite a weather beaten thing. And these are the tools that people like Everton use anyway.
Correct. Yeah.
You go and play them on their pitch and they make sure that it's on a cold, rainy day in December, like it is today. Or maybe it's a bit less of the rain, but several degrees closer to snowfall. So yeah, it's. I'm not complaining about today. I'm yet to see the game, but 0-0. Do I really want to watch it? I
There's a
might
few
watch some
chances in there, but yeah,
highlights.
probably the right result is a draw for this game, in my opinion. I don't think either
Yeah,
side deserved to win it. I think a draw is probably fair for both.
yeah, yeah. I think this is one of those days that we will hope that a result goes for us. As I was saying before, I got cut off. I don't trust Spurs for dust. They'll probably go and get a hiding now. But if they,
They'll do well. They hopefully will do well.
uh,
They'll score goals. Let's see. Let's see it
well,
the other way.
we can only hope. But that's what we need to do. Just hope for the results to go our way in terms of that game.
Fair enough. Let me know. Let me know how my audio sounds. By the way, because I tried something new a while ago. Um, but yeah, right. I think this is the first stream that there's not many people watching right now, but I think this is the first stream where I haven't had to say like the stream and all that because it says 7 people are watching and there's 7 likes. So let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. So that I love that. But yeah, this is the first item from X that I want us to talk about. This is what Maresca had to say. He said it was tough to create chances. There was not space for Cole, which we spoke about previously. In this kind of game, you have to be clinical. So starting with you, Bobby. Well, I know you say you haven't seen the match. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna let you repeat yourself, Dante. Um, yeah, right. It makes no sense. I asked him and he just spoke about Cole
Yeah,
Palmer to
yeah.
some
He
extent.
just said
So
it. Yeah.
right. So what do you think about
Yeah,
what Marissa
like
said here?
like I said, I think we made it tough for ourselves that first half. I think we just played into their hands, to be honest. We played with two defensive midfielders. Enzo and Caicedo just sat in that defensive midfielder and they just passed the ball around, back, left, right, back, around, come back out, back around. Basically 75% of possession of not much. We created two chances. They were both really good chances as well. I should have probably scored. Jackson on both occasions should have probably scored them. But it's not enough. Two good chances for me. It's not enough. In half of football, that's yeah, and that's because we were cautious. I think Maresca went. Well, he definitely went more cautious and respected them a bit more because we played with two defensive midfielders. So normally, what this season against teams like this, we've pushed up another one of those. Enzo would not sit back there; he would go forward, and we're having basically five across behind Jackson, and even more attacking. But in this game, he chose to, a little bit show them a bit more respect. I just think that played into their hands because, like I said, we just passed it around because he was just back there. Enzo with Caicedo passing it to each other around, back to the fullbacks and back and around, and nothing was happening too much. Nothing was really happening. Two big chances. That's it. Yeah, Maresca's right. You got to take those. It's that type of game, but he did set us up for that type of game, and that's why I say I think, yeah, I would have liked us to see be a bit more attacking and a bit more on the front foot as we were anyway. But just to create a lot more chances basically, and score that important first goal because against Everton, it's all about that first goal. If you get that first goal, yeah, we're off from there. They're going to have to open up second half. But if you're not scoring and it's 0-0, they're going to continue playing like that, just like Bobby said, and we know exactly that's what they do. And yeah, I think that played a bit into their hands, in my opinion. Yeah, didn't change really in the second half either. He just moved. Second half, I thought he might change that. Let's go a bit more at him again because not enough was happening in that first half. But the only change that he made really was Gusto not inverting into the 10 and inverting into the defensive midfield, and then you put gave Enzo a free role basically to roam around everywhere and go more forward. So pretty much the same thing basically. So yeah, I would have liked us to see go for that game a little bit more and try to get that first goal more.
Fair enough. That's a fair point. So this is from OB CFC Obed. So the first thing he has is Sanchez. Are you good or not? Gusto can't play this inverted thing. Before I go down to the rest, do you agree that Gusto can't play invertedly? It's not
Not
even a
into the
word.
10, no. No, this is the third time he's done that, and every time it's failed. Every single time it's failed. What I kept saying on other just perspective and on your channel when I came on, every time Gusto's inverted into the 10, the 3 games that he's played there, we've averaged of 2 chances a half when he's played in that role. 2 chances per half. That's peanuts. That's nothing. It's just not enough. yeah, you're obviously going to be more solid, more defensive. But 2 chances, yeah, it's just not enough. He can definitely invert into the defensive midfield because there, he's staying there and to do the defensive work in the defensive midfield. He can do that no problem. But in the 10, it just doesn't give you anything going forward. No creativity, no shooting, no goal threat. It doesn't really make runs in the box. He's just in that area trying to shut down their build up, basically. So he's there to plug a hole, and he's mostly used for that in that 10. To try to take a man away from Cole Palmer as well, probably. But it doesn't work because they just leave him alone. They don't care about Gusto. So because they know he's not effective. They know what he's going to do when he gets the ball. He's not going to go forward. If he gets the ball, he's going to turn back and go backwards. So yeah, unfortunately for me, that experiment should be over. If it's 3 games, that's enough for me. And like I said, again, 2 chances for that half when he played there. It's just not enough. You're not creating nothing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Uh, kind of having some technical difficulties at the moment, but I'll see if I can just push through. Right. So Casado and Enzo are on top of their game. Do you agree with that?
Caicedo, definitely, yeah, 100% Caicedo. And Enzo has been. Look, I think he was still good today. He he had a lot of the ball, but like I said, he was all in that defensive midfield area, and it was very, in front of him, it was very congested. Couldn't put balls through in front of him, so he just had to go wide, and that was the game plan. Game plan from, that's what they wanted basically. So just passing the ball around left to right, back. Yeah, that's all pretty much. There wasn't that much in that first half. One or two good passes trying to break the lines, but pretty difficult with Everton with that low block. Second half, when he went a bit more forward, got that free roll, he opened up a little bit more. But again, the way that Everton are set up, yeah, it's not going to help too much. You need some more technical players next to him to help with that. So look, he had a good game. Didn't do nothing bad. Didn't do nothing too good. He just had an average game.
Yeah. Bobby. I don't know. You say you didn't see the match, so I'm not sure how much I can really ask you about the
Yeah.
first two. But would you say that Casado and Enzo are on top of their game presently?
Um, yeah, I would say that. The thing that I get from the commentary I listened to was I don't think they were meant to. And Enzo has been told to play more forward, in general, not to mention in a game like this. So if he sat more in a sixth position, tippy tappy in the ball with Caicedo, it's a little bit of a failing on his part, as much as it would have been described as a failing on Gusto's part, inverting, because if, from what I hear, Everton were playing this, dropping 8 men into their box, there's no need to invert. What we should have done was push forward. And if it's a crowded area, you've got players who are good on the ball pushing in there. What they're going to do is just foul you. So, and then you start getting free kicks, uh, and so on, maybe even a penalty. So I think we were maybe not offensive enough. I'm yet to see what happened, but I would suspect that's the case. Look, this is one game against a difficult, physical, defensive team. We were not beaten. They're very good in the air. They're tricky and quite good at being deceptive and trying to get the odd goal here and there. And they couldn't do that with us. So, um, what's the lessons that we take? Sorry, what do we take home from this game? What have we learnt going forward? Because there will be other teams that will try this, I don't think they'll be successful, but they will try. And we have to show that if we come up against this again, that we'll punish any team that sets out that way.
Yeah, and that's how you got to play against us. That is the most effective way to play against us, is like Everton just did. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting, very much so.
Well,
But
I don't know if you can say that's effective, because they didn't do anything. They didn't score. The whole
Oh
commentary
yeah,
was
no, they
about
could
them.
have scored 2 or 3 goals as well, Bobby. They had two clear chances, just like we had two very much clear chances. They had two clear chances, one on one with the keeper, basically as well. So yeah, they could have scored and nicked the win, no problem. So they did create, but they don't create much because that's their game. They're going to create 2 or 3 chances the whole game, but that's their game. That's how they play. And low blocking us like that, the way they set it up, the way they did, that's going to work against Chelsea. I keep saying that's one of our big weaknesses is that low block. When it's set up properly, it's very hard to beat. And then it's on the manager, Maresca, to set it up properly and to be more offensive or more defensive to how to combat that. And today he went more defensive against Goodison Park, away, bad weather. He was probably thinking, let's just be solid. And, he basically, in my opinion, he played a bit more into Everton's. We played the same game as them, basically, very similar. Yeah, we had a 75% possession, but we didn't do much with it, to be honest. So, yeah, that's why I mean, we struggle against this. I still want to see us against these low block teams like this that are set up really well. I want to see that us really breaking that apart. But yeah, he went for a more defensive approach today. Did he get the result? Yes, we got a result. We stay second. It's a good result. We're second at Christmas, clear second. Still very good. But yeah, that was his choice. That was Maresca's choice today.
fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So the next thing here, so we can move to the next item because I think a lot of people want to watch the match against Spurs Liverpool, and there's not really much to talk about as such because it's a stalemate, as the title says. You just talk about the chances that were missed. But the next thing is dear Maresca. It's normal for Palmer to have a bad day, and it's also normal to change it. Do you think that is something that should have been considered or should have happened rather? Palmer being
100%.
substituted.
100%.
Can you elaborate?
You can tell when a player is not in it, and then you saw that second half. He didn't have the good first half. You saw that second half. The Everton players were starting to push him around and bully him. You saw that they were pushing him. He was getting frustrated, and he was pulling players down, causing fouls. Palmer, because he was losing the ball. It wasn't his day. He wasn't having a good day. He was getting frustrated as well. When you see that, you don't see that from Palmer, by the way. You don't really see him do that. He's pretty cool, chill, calm. You don't see him. If you see that, I think, yeah, that was for me. Once I saw that second half around the 60th minute, I'm like, yeah, he needs to come off the next 10 minutes, 15 max. Just take him off. You got Felix on there that can really, get at him as well, and is very technical, can do all that. It's not his day. You can take him off. We're not Palmer FC. Just take him off. Give him, you got to prove to the player as well. He's not. You can't just keep playing him game after game after game after game, having bad games, average game, good game. If he's having a bad day and having a bad game, and the opposition's getting to him, and there's no response, as we saw, well, just take him off and put someone that's on the bench. You've got people. There's no excuse because you do have someone on there that you can put on. So yeah, I 100% agree with that.
You want to add anything to that, Bobby? Okay, I guess not. Right. So the next thing is
I didn't realize I was still muted. Yeah, I mean, if you can call it a weakness, that is probably a bit of a Maresca weakness. He tends to keep playing someone even if they're not quite on form. He did it with Madueke. It was only when Madueke really pushed it a bit that he's now recently started bringing him off the bench. He's done that with Sancho, although Sancho being a goalkeeper is very difficult to change them, and he's been doing well in recent times. Yeah, it's quite clear that um, Palmer does need to be subbed sometimes. It's quite clear he can be targeted too much. Um, a bit of that is Maresca's fault as well, because as has been said, he could switch it up a bit more with Palmer, play him a little bit differently, make it less obvious. You've got to do that.
Yeah, get him out
But
of that congested area in the middle, put him on the right wing. Against a low block team, you can easily play on the right wing because it's not really right wing, to be honest. It's yeah. So
well, the
exactly, Bob,
right
yeah.
inside right, they would have called it in the old days.
Correct, yeah,
But
yeah.
look, as I keep saying, we are a team in development. Even to a certain extent, the manager's learning his players, and with time, he will do that. Situations will cause this sort of situation will cause him to be able to do that with Palmer, either change him or put him in a different location on the pitch. Thing is with Palmer is if you take him away from that inside right position and, for example, put him inside left, he might become even worse, be more ineffective because he doesn't really play there. So the answer would have been to sub him for Felix, and I think he will. I think he's got his eye on that. I think Everton um, is a good learning curve. As you've said, I think the weather played a part. Uh, Everton's tactics played a part. I don't have any respect for teams that play like Sean Dyche. I really don't. Is such a old-fashioned lack of ideas worth of way of playing and chest beating yourself because at home you stifled another team. Is okay, that's fine. If that's what you're about, that's fine. But I can assure you, they're going to come and get another 5-6 nil when they come to the bridge, like last season. So I don't know. It is what it is. They've got what they wanted. We haven't particularly got what we wanted, but I think we've got a lot of learning outcomes from this game.
Mm, fair
Important
enough.
things that we didn't concede, we didn't lose, and we're still second, clear second.
Yeah. I mean, you came on after Dante and I had a little back and forth. It wasn't anything long. It was just for a couple of seconds when I said, and I'm going to say it again for the third time in this stream. Chelsea Football Club are not in the title race. And matches like this proves it. I mean, yeah, we can talk about when a lot of teams win the Premier League and all of that. They don't win certain matches and they drop points or they get a point in matches, and sometimes that 1 point is enough for them to win the league. But I mean, you need to be able to find solutions, and my concern now is that if we want to use this mantra of saying that the objective is to get to top four, which I think most likely it does appear we're going to get top four. I mean, teams below us are either imploding or they're exploding in other ways. So it's something that I'm concerned about in terms of if Everton does that to you, whether it's a method or a philosophy or a tactical approach that we like or we can respect. Other teams may try it. It's about if they can defend efficiently, as Everton did to some extent. They did make some mistakes. There were some errors. We didn't pounce on them, but that is something that you don't want a lot of your upcoming opponents to be aware of. That you have challenges in terms of breaking down low block. And I have to give this to Dante. I mean, we didn't disagree on this, but Jackson really shows that he wasn't necessarily the right option to play. I mean, yeah, he does the basic stuff that you'd expect from him, which is to drop deep, help in defending and all that, and try to be a part of the build-up play. But in terms of being able to break that back line of Everton, he struggled. The low block was much of a challenge. I mean, Brentford was a different kettle of fish. I mean, at times they were deep, other times they had a high line, and he was able to get in behind. But yeah, but I want us to move on to something else. Oh, and by the way, I've had this comment up for a while. Owen Hart, big up to you. He says he's disappointed that we drew, but we move. Yeah, we move on to Fulham. And as this tweet says as well, we go on to Fulham, or we go on to Fulham as well. We go again at Fulham rather. So let's move on to this quickly. Fabrizio Romano had this to say. Well, not he. Edison Maresca had this to say. What is wrong with me? Maresca after the 0-0 draw. I'm very happy. I told this to the players. I'm more happy than the Brentford game. That's interesting. Everton, it's tricky. It's a tricky game, tricky stadium, tricky team. They're one of the 5 best teams defensively in Europe in terms of clean sheets. What do you have to say about this, Dante?
Yeah, look, that Brentford game, they are low block, but they decided not to play a low block the whole game. Brentford, they did open up quite a bit, and we took advantage of that. Yeah, Everton's not really going to do that too much, so a little bit different. But yeah, look, it's right. It's always a tricky game, not just for us, Man City, for Liverpool, for Arsenal, for everyone. That's a tricky game, that stadium, because it's such a small stadium. Supporters are so close to the pitch. It's a tricky stadium to play in 100%. And then when the weather's really weird, yeah, it's even more trickier. So it's always been a tough fixture, not just for us, but for everyone, basically. So yeah, I understand what he's saying. He's happy we got the result. We didn't lose. So yeah, of course he's happy, and this is what he would say. More happy than the Brentford game? No, I wouldn't go that far. No, I think we actually played good football in Brentford game, and we created a lot of chances. A very different type of game. If his goal from the start of this was to get a result and not lose, and that, to me, first half it looked that way to me. We were very, like I said, we were quite defensive with the 2 DMs sitting. Then yes, he'll be very happy. Yes, if that was the aim of the game, then we'll be very happy. But he says in press conferences, though, he says every press conferences, we go into every game with a game plan to win. Yeah, so little contrast there. So I'm not sure if this is taken out of context, maybe some of these comments, but yeah, I never read into when they're just short comments like this, because sometimes they're taken out of context.
No, I think this is a bit too down. We're getting into silly territory now. Yeah. Everton, maybe they low blocked, yada yada yada. They low blocked because they didn't go a goal down. Brentford low
Correct.
blocked, but when
Yes.
they went a goal down, they had no choice but to try and respond occasionally. This is football. If you think every team is going to come and play Chelsea, well, most of them do anyway. And low block, well, so be it. They're going to be in for a good beating. This is just one of those games in one of those stadiums, and a goal wasn't scored, so they were emboldened to continue doing what they're doing. But I'm not going to go into all this. Oh, it was so bad. Oh, Maresca, no. He's right in what he says. I found Maresca to be somebody that when he says something, there's value to it. He doesn't just open his mouth and talk nonsense. He doesn't play political games as such. He's a very straightforward guy. And if he said he was pleased with the way the team performed, I haven't seen the full game. I heard the commentary, and we didn't look under or sound to be under any specific pressure. I heard about the chance that they had to score, but we averted it. It's football. Your opponent is going to come at you at some point, and you've got to be able to avert it or resist it. So I don't think we should be so down about the result like that. Oh, this is why we can't win the league. We're not talking about winning the league anyway. The team's focus is to be in the top
Yeah, Ty,
four.
stop being a downer, Ty.
Well, and you as well. I think it's you more than him, to be honest.
No, I'm
Because
positive. I said it's a good
they
result too. I said it's a great
they
result too. Yeah, I didn't say it's a bad result.
they low blocked, but they don't suddenly become primetime Barcelona because they low blocked and we didn't score. It happens. It's just one of those things in football. It happens, with a new team, a young team, to go there against. I saw, there was something that the commentary was saying that when they took off Luke Young and brought on Coleman, they took off what, a 38-year-old and brought on a 36-year-old.
39-year-old,
Average,
yeah.
70 something in age. Now
They're
that's a
the
bit
oldest team in the
excessive.
league. Yeah, they're number one and we're
Well,
last. Yeah.
that's a bit excessive for the Premier League, but that in itself speaks of the gap in experience between the two teams. I don't think Everton have anything to feel particularly proud of that they played that way, to be honest. I think that's a sign of how poor they are as a team. And they could be quite fortunate that Chelsea didn't, Jackson's header didn't go in, because if it went in, they would have had to come out in one way or the other, and they would have conceded even more. So it's not that bad, really. I don't think it's doomsday and we should fear every other team coming to play low blocks and all that. No,
I think
not at
everyone's too
all.
used to winning now, Bobby, and we draw, it's the end of the world.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Crikey, this
Well,
time last season, we would have bitten your hand off to get that result.
yeah. I guess we could say that we're somewhat spoiled. Well, not us. I will say me. I will take accountability, unlike some people that I know. I'll take accountability. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm saying that we're not in the title race because that's the ongoing thing that we're seeing. I mean, I've never seen a fan base so united about. Well, yeah, even though you have little people, you have a little amount of people saying that yes, we're in the title race, who are Chelsea fans, and they believe we will do the 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 unexpected, which is to win the league. But we are not in the title race just for the sake of saying that, oh, we're just taking it game after game, one game at a time, which we're aiming for top four. That's the race we're in, and that's the only race we should be talking about. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a solid point, Bobby. I guess I'm being kind of negative, but at the same time, it's just it has to do with
No, Bobby would agree with you.
yeah, and that's the thing, because I'm saying that in terms of not being able to score the chances that we created, that is my concern. But I mean, it's better than losing. To me, it just seems kind of weird to say that at least we didn't lose. But looking back at 2 years ago, and well, the past two seasons rather, I can't complain. As you said, Bobby, we would bite anybody's hand off
I,
if we're offered a draw. You want
We
to say
would lose
something?
this
I
game
tell you, I tell
last
you
year
what,
with our ex-manager. We would lose this game. The way we play, we
Yeah.
would definitely lose this game.
I tell you what topic this has created. Um, do we need an all-out striker in
Mm,
January?
somebody asked that.
I know, or indeed, in the summer. Now, I don't think that's fair on Nkunku. I think he was brought on so late in the game. It's with a team playing like that and being emboldened to play like that because we haven't scored yet just doesn't make his job any easier. But would we have benefited from a bit more of a battering ram up front? A bit of a Sesko, maybe lesser of Gyökeres. We're not talking about Osimhen these days, but is it now the conversation again? Because it seems Jackson's kind of struggles with these sort of games. Although he did hit the post, and it's a game that you only get one or two opportunities. So I don't know. That is the interesting thing. I have a feeling that Maresca will be more inclined to continue his development. If anything, was Mark Gui on the bench? Would he have been effective? Because he's such a hustler and such a presser, he may have unsettled them. There's a lot of interesting questions that have come out of the outcome of this game.
Yeah, look, Nkunku came on, like you say, Bobby, and wasn't effective, to be honest. So
Did he have enough time to make an impact, though? That's the thing.
75th minute he came on. So yeah, 20 minutes, which is not. That's basically when you go sub 7. Yeah, you get 20. But I'm just saying, he didn't. You can see the difference, obviously, straight away with Jackson because he presses a lot more. And Nkunku doesn't really do that as much. So yeah, it's a different. I think he should have probably started, in my opinion. I think Nkunku should start in these games, low blocks. I think he's good in more spaces like that, and is more of a poacher as well. He can get in better positions. His runs are a little bit better. Positioning is a little bit better in those tight spaces against teams like that. I think he can be a little bit better than Jackson. Yeah, I think he can be. Probably should have started, but yeah, Maresca's not going with that at all, and he's not getting that game time. We'll see now in January what happens. He might actually leave because of it. So we'll just have to wait and see. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
Uh, I hope not, because the chances will come. The chances will come. We have the spokesperson for all of that. Within Bobby, who always says that players need to understand. I mean, Maresca said it as well. I mean, if you're unhappy with not playing games, that's your problem. Respectfully, that's your problem. That's not the team's problem, in all honesty. Because if you're winning and all that, we're getting points, that's what matters. In a case like this, now where we both agree, Dante, that in matches like this one where you play against a team that is utilizing a low block, I don't know if it's low block or I don't know if low block is the right word to describe it, because it's more than a low block. The committing of so many players in the box, and all of that, and having so many players behind the ball. I don't know if that's just if that's just your average low block. It's close to Atletico Madrid's approach, but I don't know. I mean, as Bobby said, we tend to see this thing where they utilize it, but it's not like they scored goals and that philosophy worked um, to in all of its glory, or to all the extent that perhaps led to them getting goals. But I think Sean Dyche was probably playing for a draw. Question is, were we playing for a draw based on what Maresca says would have said? Because it was kind of weird for me to hear him say that. It's
Yeah,
better than Brentford.
yeah. I mean, I think there is an argument, there is mileage in saying that Nkunku probably could have, started this game. But hindsight, is a special thing. I've forgotten how that saying goes. I don't know, but I think one lesson Maresca has to take from this is he's got to go back to switching it up a bit. He did play a little bit too much into um, Everton's hands,
Hmm.
apparently. But the conditions, I think, is something I think affected his team. We have to remember yet again that we've got one, two, uh, we've got 3.5 key players out injured. Lavia, would he have been made a difference in this game? Probably not, because he's slightly more sort of defensive. Or would he have his presence encouraged Enzo to go forward more than having just Caicedo there? We will never know now. We don't have James, we don't have Fofana. These are people that adds to our ability to be more offensive. But you're right. I think his use of personnel, offensive personnel today, was faulty. I think this game he could have taken it had he been a little bit more canny. Um, you know, the talk about Jao Felix, I think, is a very valid one. He has to learn from that. You can't keep playing. Oh shit! Liverpool's gone 2 goals up. Told you
Yeah, that's why I
Spurs. You
shook my
can't.
head too.
Yeah, you can't rely on Spurs for Jack. They always do this. You can't. You've got to be able to mix it up with the offensive players. He was a little bit too rigid. I think rigid is the word. He took out Neto and brought on Madueke, and it just seemed to make things, from the commentary I was listening to, it wasn't that effective.
No,
There
it's
were
probably worse.
moments,
It was worse.
yeah, it sounded like things deteriorated a little bit, which was, why did you do that? Was
Madueke does,
Neto
as you know,
tired?
Bob, he doesn't do nothing. There's no space, nothing to run into. He's not going to do nothing.
Yeah. And Neto's a better, ball dribbler, and was he tired? I don't really know, but it's a difficult game. We have to learn from this. We have to learn from this, and I would rather, if he's in the game against Fulham at home, if Palmer's being crowded out a bit, he's got to be able to take him off. It's silly to just keep playing him. For what purpose? It shows these are the little things that he does that frustrates. Um, he gets stuck in his ways a little bit too much with certain players. But he's also shown that he can be flexible. So we have to believe and give him a chance to put it right in the next game.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, you mentioned this, Bobby. I know it's even more upsetting to me. Right, as I said, we're not in the title race, so I don't know why this why I'm disappointed that Spurs are losing. But yeah, Liverpool obviously doing what Liverpool have been doing this season, and that's getting goals and so far getting results. But yeah, I think
I
we've
think
exhausted.
what it
Yeah, go
is,
on.
Ty, is we want to stay in the hunt. The more pressure we're putting people like Liverpool, Arsenal, our position is a nuisance to them. They get worried. They don't. Nobody knows what to make of this young team that's there snipping around at their ankles and looking threatening every now and then. It's harassment to them, and you never know. If that sort of thing continues, you and I both know football is not an exact science. It's a funny thing. That's why you
Yeah.
get outsiders doing incredible things. Leicester winning the Premier League. I'm old enough to remember when Greece won the Euros. Nobody gave them a Scooby Doo, but they kept winning game after game, and oh well, it's going to end now. This is a fluke. It can't happen. They got to the quarterfinals. Ah well, it can't happen. They've got some good players here. Got to the semi-finals. Oh well, it can't happen. Got to the finals, like, whoops, okay, maybe it can happen, and it did. So we want to stay in the hunt. We want to stay in the conversation, even if we are not targeting the league itself, because we know we're immature. But the longer you stay in the conversation, the longer you stay in the hunt, then maybe a time will come where we will be able to say we're in the title race. So let's just keep sniffing around. That's why we don't want Liverpool to go too far away. We want to keep harassing them. If they go now, what will that be? What, 6 points clear if they win this, or is it 7 points?
I
With
think
their
it'll
game in hand. Yeah,
be
it,
four.
it will be four with this, and
Four.
then they have a game in hand, don't they? So,
Yeah, Everton.
you know, oh, well, maybe Everton might do everyone a favour and stifle them. Who knows? I think it won't be the same thing because they're much better at finishing. But, we still want to be there, sniffing around. We want to be there, creating doubts and panic in the minds of these people. And the more we do that,
Yeah, go Spurs.
yeah.
We.
Did they score or they had a shot?
No, they scored. Yeah, yeah.
That's They've scored.
Oh my.
Are you?
They're gonna score. They're gonna
Nah.
score a couple of goals. Liverpool just
Oh
has to
no.
outscore them like we did.
No, Spurs ain't scoring jack, man. Spurs. This Spurs they have scored. Oh, you're ahead of me, that's why. Well, nah, I can't imagine I'm watching a game of football and wanting Spurs to do something.
Oh my gosh.
Sacrilege. I'll have to go and wash my mouth out after this. I don't know, maybe have a shower or something,
Oh
clean
my
myself.
gosh. Is that
Because
bad?
this is it's worse. I mean, this is not it shows how bad it is. Oh no, has it been chalked off though? They said it's a foul.
No, it's a goal.
No, it's not a foul. It's a goal. It's a good goal, Madison.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's just that's just a consolation. Liverpool gonna give them like 6 now for being so cheeky for scoring a goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're learning. We're coming up there. We're still in the discussion. We're sat second. Yeah, we've got to improve on so many things. We can't do what we did today. The manager can't make some of the decisions he made today. But I think we deserve. Oh my goodness, is that a goal?
Offside.
Liverpool. I think we deserve to be given. Well, I know we do anyway, but I'm just saying, I think we deserve to be given more and more encouragement because what we're doing this season so far is not bad at all.
It's more than not bad. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I wouldn't. We are certainly playing above ourselves. Is that above? We're certainly ahead of schedule. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I won't say it's above ourselves, but we're ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
No, we can still improve, and that's the good thing about it. We still got a lot of improvement to do, so that's a big positive.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, just to say that we've outdone ourselves would kind of be. It's like saying that we've not been a big club and we haven't achieved much. It's just a case of you'd say that we're ahead of schedule in terms of the rebuild and the projects that we're building presently. So yeah, I mean, Maresca said it. He said he was expecting that the team would come good, but the pace at which all of that came, it was unexpected for many people. Obviously, we know that the media, um, the media trying to push it down our throat that we're in the title race, and I feel like this result, if Maresca had given into that and said, yeah, yeah, we're second, yeah, we're in the title race for sure, yeah, and you're gonna say so Maresca, you drew against Everton. Do you think that this ruins your chances? That lessens the possibility of them asking certain questions, and said, do you think that you'll still be able to do this or catch up to Liverpool, and all of that? So I think it was psychologically well, and literally a smart decision, not only from Moresca but also from the players that constantly get asked this question. I don't know. Jackson saying what is a title race was hilarious though, because I'm sure he knows what that is.
They've all
Um,
been briefed. I can tell you
yeah,
that they've
yeah,
all been briefed
definitely,
and told.
definitely. It's like it's
Yes,
united. Everything they say is united. Um, every, everything. Sancho said the exact same thing after the match against. Was it Spurs? I think it was
yeah,
Spurs.
he was. Yeah,
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 so they're absolutely briefed about it. Cole Palmer, obviously, Cole Palmer is he's been mature in other ways. You mentioned about how frustrated he seemed, and all that. Yeah, I mean, everybody has their off game, and everybody. Well, he's had some off games, but scoring a goal or getting an assist overshadowed it. On the bright side, at least another player will get the man of the match this time. Because he was getting the man of the match when he wasn't the man of the match. Um,
The trouble with that, it'll probably go to an Everton player.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw that though. I think that who did it? I don't remember who they said got.
not
Oh
Sanchez.
wow,
Another goal, Liverpool. Not
Liverpool.
Sanchez.
Somebody's like, was it
Uh,
Sanchez?
Where I watched it, it was Sanchez man of the match.
Yeah, I think there was an Everton player after the end of the match. I saw. I'm gonna do some research to see who got the man of the match. But yeah, man, as Bobby said, we cannot rely on Spurs to do anything. Absolute trash.
We
Yeah,
already know that. Yeah, we'll know they'll lose. They'll concede a lot of goals. They will lose. They have no defense. They have no one. They've got another 18-year-old kid playing as a central defender again. It's not. Yeah, they're going to concede. Yeah, today a
yeah.
couple of goals.
Is the guy that
Probably
they
more
got
than
from
this. It'd probably be five goals. It'd probably be like 5-2, 5-3 the end score.
yeah, is it that 18-year-old centre back? I think he's the
Yeah,
18-year
yeah. He's
centre
not
back.
even a defender. First of all, he's not a defender. First of all, so and he's got Archie Gray. Yep.
Yeah, Archie. Yeah, right. That guy. Oh wait, Archie Gray wasn't he at Leeds?
Yes, yes.
Right.
Midfielder.
I,
Yep.
I thought he was gonna. I thought he was gonna start against us, and then boom. Oh, Romero and Van de Ven, they're back out of nowhere. Crazy, but yeah, man. But yeah. Essentially, that is like we said, man. The team is actually doing well. It's progression. Really, it's progression, and that's why I'm saying that we're not in the title race. We're in the top four race, and that's the only race I want to hear that Chelsea are in. Because I mean, we need to take it step by step. This isn't like the squad we had in the past where we finished. We were 16th at one point, under Josie after was it 2015, 16? Yeah, and then boom, next season we ended up going back and coming back and winning the league. So
10th. We're
uh,
10th. Yeah, finished 10th.
yeah, we finished 10th, but I think we're 16 at one point before
Yeah, yeah.
Josie
At the
was
start
sacked.
of the season. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and then
yeah.
finished 10th. So you just take it step by step, and then slowly but surely we'll get there because with this project, with new recruitments coming in, with a little addition here and there, with some experience and all that, and that is why if this young team are able to win a conference league, if we don't win it, that'll be embarrassing. But if they do that, I think that gives them the winning mentality, that hunger, desire to challenge for something else, and I think that will help them even further. It's the only unfortunate thing is that we did not win against Liverpool last season. If we had done that, oh, man, it would have been good for this team.
No, no. Looking back at it, no, it wouldn't have been good. Pochettino might still be here.
Oh my god.
No,
I'll actually,
Liverpool are
I like the League
very
Cup. I'll give it up just so Pochettino didn't return
Oh.
this season. I'll actually give that up, no problem.
Liverpool are actually they've been a little bit fortunate this season.
Hmm.
And that's what happens with teams that win the leagues and things. If you don't have injuries, they've been look at the squad they're playing now. They're all injury free. They're players that have been playing regularly. Um, so they haven't really lost. Yeah, they lost Allison for a couple of weeks.
Nate
Difference
as well at the
between
back,
them and
their central
us.
defender. Yeah,
Difference between them and us is that their injuries come back. Ours go off and that's it. You don't see them for
yeah.
till the end of the season. So um, they've been very fortunate in that regard.
Is Allison back?
Everyone's going to get injuries. It's a long season. They're all going to get injured. Liverpool's going to get more
Yeah,
injuries. They just will. They're playing a lot of
yeah.
games. They got a lot more games to play than Champions
Allison's
Leagues.
in goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but sometimes there are some seasons where you're fortunate and you go through that season without an injury. I think there was one of the times. I think the time we won the league back to back. Apart from the issue we had with Petr Cech and he had to come back wearing a head guard, we really were quite injury free, and so the squad was consistent. Yeah, we had a few things with Iron Robin. In fact, Robin was the real injury problem we had those days, and he left us and he stopped getting injured.
Yeah, there's
That's
always
another
injuries.
matter.
We actually, even back then, we had a couple of extra players than a lot of other teams because obviously Roman invested, they put the money in, and we had a couple more players, a little bit more than other teams back then as well. But yeah, I remember what you were saying. Those couple of years, we didn't get hardly any injuries. There's only a couple of injuries basically.
Yeah, I think that's something that's important as well. I mean, I'm not one that likes to be biased or to be salty. about other teams doing well. But I think Arne Slot, I mean, yeah, he's definitely added his own philosophy. I mean, they don't they're not rogue. They don't go attack. They know how, they know when to drop deep, know when to defend as a unit. So I think that that's one thing. But he inherited a squad that they I'm gonna say something that Bobby has said in the past. They're well rehearsed in terms of experience. They've been, most of
100%,
those
and they
players.
play the same formation. It's not like they've changed
Exactly.
system or formations. They're
Exactly.
playing exactly the same formations. The players in the same positions.
Yeah.
He's basically just yeah. He hasn't changed any players. He's done exactly the same. He's kept it exactly the same. Yeah, really, to me, when I look at the games, there's not much difference, to be honest.
Yeah.
Hardly any difference at all. They're exactly the same they were on the clock.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's
and
helping him a lot. I know people give him a lot of credit, blah blah blah, but I think, in my opinion, personal opinion, I think this would have happened on the Klopp as well. Why? Because Arsenal have been bad, Man City have been awful, obviously, and yeah, I think this would have happened on the Klopp as well, because the team, yeah, they've got those players that have played, they've got those world class players already there. It's if they don't have those, if a Salah goes down, if a Van Dijk goes down, then they're in big trouble. Even just a Salah goes down, I think that then they're quite in a bit of trouble. They don't have that attacking depth as much to cover for Salah. So yeah, Van Dijk as well. If he goes down, yeah, Allison, yes and no, not really, because you saw he was out weeks and didn't make much of a difference because Keller has a pretty good goalkeeper. It's not that bad with the goalkeeper, but yeah, I think yeah, it's those key players, those world class players they have, Salah especially. Yeah, if he goes down, 75% of their goals this season is Salah involvement.
Well,
So
they've still got Diogo Jota. I think
yeah,
he's
he's
a
always
player
injured though.
that
That's the
is
problem.
fantastic.
He's always injured though.
I
Yeah,
think think he's on the bench this time. But yeah, you're right. I mean, um, Klopp has just handed over a ready-made, well-oiled machine, and he would he would be a pretty bad manager if he's not doing what he's doing now.
exactly.
This is
That's I
this is
agree,
no test.
100%. I know I hear a lot of people giving him massive praise. He's much better. I think Maresca's gonna
No,
10 times worse, much harder job than Slot has had. In my
of
opinion, I
course.
think Maresca's got a lot more to do. But no, people are saying no. Arnie Slot is still doing more. I don't believe that.
Well,
I
they
don't
will
see it.
do. Liverpool fans are very vocal. They're like Arsenal fans. They big up
No,
themselves
yeah, I
a
saw in a
lot.
debate. It was one of the channels, the big channels, and they're all agreeing. They're all saying, yeah, Slot first, then Maresca, as in manager of the season, because how much work they've done. I'm like, it's not even close to me. It's not even close for me.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Big up to you, Rich Money Makers. He's saying, relax, guys. We didn't lose today and we move on. They don't need to relax. I'm the one that needs to relax. They're more calm than anything. I'm the one that needs to relax. Everton, one of the best team of a low block, had another setback, fighting strong. Everyone hit the likes and subscribe. We're second in the Prem. Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, and ensure that you guys like and subscribe. 4 people are watching right
Definitely.
now, so like if you haven't already. But I don't think there's, I should be asking for that because it's 14 likes, which isn't bad. I mean, I've tried something new, not to constantly say like, and it's worked. So I'm gonna stop
You're on X
asking
as
for
well,
likes.
Ty? Did you link it up to the X?
No, I don't do that.
Yeah, you need to do that. That's going to help a lot.
Well, I've seen the pros and the cons of doing that. Usually what happens is that people will stay on X because it's accessible there, and then they can send messages, yeah, but I mean, like in terms of interacting, I don't know.
The
That's
positive
me
I
what
see
I've
it, and
seen.
then you know this from Chelsea perspective is you they know you, they see your name, they know you, they talk, so you're there. Otherwise, you wouldn't be to those people. And then next time they're on YouTube somewhere, they come, they see that, oh yeah, Chelsea session. So yeah, I think yeah, and you get a lot of people on there on X because it links to a lot
Yeah,
of people, especially
yeah,
your account. You've got quite a lot of followers as well, so you can link that, and you're going to get a lot of new followers as well. So
yeah.
my opinion, you probably should do it, but it's up to you. Obviously, you can do what you want to your channel, but I think it will help you a little bit. Yeah, it'll help a little bit.
It is. I'm not trying to steal coach's saying, but it is our channel. The channel was rebranded to Chelsea Session so that it's more exclusive, and it's not just Ty's channel. Because
You're
I
the
mean,
face. You're the man behind
yeah,
it.
I'm the face, but at the same time, it would make no. I would just be talking to myself for hours if there's nobody there. So I mean, yeah, I'm the face, but
Hey, if
every
coach can do it, come on.
yeah. So oh wow.
He would just
Oh,
talk on and talk it on. He wouldn't even let Bobby. Bobby wouldn't even get a word in.
oh my gosh.
Isn't that right, Bobby? Coach is moving at the moment. Yeah, we won't see him for a while till the new year
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. He's gonna come up with a big difference. He always does. Every time he moves, he comes back and he sees some either new setup or something. There's always something. He always has something up his sleeve.
Oh yeah,
And Rich Moneymakers
there'll be
is
a new
saying this.
setup. Yeah, he's just got to figure out where to set it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of rooms and he's not sure where to set up, but yeah, he's gonna have a new setup 100%,
yeah.
and hopefully his systems will work perfectly there.
uh, Rich Moneymakers is saying you need to link to X and more sponsors coming our way. Hold on. Let me read that again. You need to link to X and also more sponsors are coming our way. Liverpool winning. Tosin is working hard to become first team player. The coach isn't happy with so many players getting injured. So many players? Would you say
Not
so
that
many
many.
players?
Yeah, no, we've got enough cover to cover, no problem.
Mhm.
So we had a pretty didn't have that bad of a bench today either, to be honest. So he just chose not to use them. But yeah, we had the squad today to do what we needed to do, no problem.
Yeah. Just the midfield was probably lightweight slightly, but yeah, yeah, but that's not many though. Rich money
Yeah,
makers.
I tend to see where he's coming from with that comment. You know, you get your players in for a reason. They are your key players. They are your starting players, if you like. But
Hmm.
what we're constantly doing at Chelsea because of injuries is we are patching it up. You know, we're looking to, oh, okay, let's get this player for this player, this player for this player. You know, as I've said, being without Fofana, being without Reece James, being without uh, who's
Rich
the
James
other
doesn't
one?
count, Bobby. He hasn't been there for 3 years at all, so he's
Well,
doesn't even
exactly,
count,
but
to be honest.
he's meant to be one of our key players. Badiashile, well, you know, he was beginning to get some form. These are important players to us, and when they're missing, it's a miss. Now, do we have people that can come in? Yes, of course we do, but they are people that are coming in. You know, it's not like you take Van Dijk, even Canute out of Liverpool, and take Salah that you were talking about out of Liverpool, and they play with the players that are coming in to replace them. They are not going to be the same team. You know, Man City, the same thing. They've lacked Rodri. I think it's only Rodri they've lacked, although I think there are issues of burnout with them. That's more their problem than anything
And aging
else.
players and burnout. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
They've had a few injuries too.
you
Yeah,
know,
they've got a few injuries. Yeah.
exactly. You know, you can't be at your top level without your top players. And we
Hmm.
have had to cope without a proper top starting 11 for a long time. Look at Liverpool playing Spurs now. It's their top starting 11. And you need to have that if you're going to be challenging for big honors. You've got to have your top starting 11 more times than you don't. So there is a bit of value in that. I'm sure Maresca is a bit frustrated with that, because it's you know, shaking his plans a bit. It scoppers you when you've got to now start looking at putting gusto inverting and all that sort of malarkey, because you've got a suspension to Cucurella, and the eternal injury of Reece James. But it is what it is. We always cope with it. We don't complain about it. I think it's a crime the way our injury situation was so badly ignored last season with such a young team, um, up until the point where, towards the end of the season, where it became so apparent that that was what was really hampering the squad. People took a lot out on Pochettino, but I think Pochettino, in view of what he had at his disposal, he did very well. You have to give him that credit. Is he supposed to still be here? No, he's probably not the Chelsea manager we all know we need and want, but he's played his part in where we are today.
Yeah, but he contributed to a lot of those injuries. Did you see his recent US national team
Oh my
speech he gave
days.
to the players? Did you see that, Ty?
Yeah, I did. I did. You have to
That
learn.
was
You have
so
to
funny. I
to
couldn't stop.
run.
I thought it was like a comedy for me. I couldn't stop laughing. Like, and then I'm
What
thinking
did he
about it.
say?
Hold on, it's not actually that funny. This guy actually put our players into the ground basically, and injured most of our players and played them injured. And yeah, that was shocking. I couldn't believe. Yeah, wow,
It's about a lot of
unbelievable that
running.
guy.
Yeah, but Bobby was saying
What
what
did
he
he
said.
say?
Basically, he's saying that you need to be prepared to do a lot of running, and
Oh gosh, yeah.
He basically said you have to run that much that you have to actually put your hand up and come off the field, that you're
oh,
that spent and that you're almost injured, and then you come off the field. Then we put someone else in to go do the same thing and put his hand up and get injured and come off as well. That's what he wants from his players.
I believe him as well because that's what he does, isn't it?
And that's
yeah.
exactly what happened. So,
I mean, that's
but
why I
he
love
actually said
Gallagher.
it.
That's why I love
Mm.
Gallagher because he can be a road runner literally. So I mean, come on, and Gallagher was never injured. I don't think he ever was. So you gotta
Yeah,
love somewhere.
well, he's a rare breed. He's fit, young. Yeah, he's different, but not you can't. That doesn't apply to every single player. There's different types of players. You can't do that to a lot of players, and that comes down to management. It's how you manage them. If you treat every single player the same as every other player like that, that mentality, that's going to happen because not every player is built the same.
Fair enough. By the way, speaking about Gallagher, Gallagher could win the La Liga. Well, it's just 1 point ahead. I'll score just 1 point ahead, but he could do. Could. I mean,
Yeah, I watched
He's
the
been
highlights of
he's
that
been
one
out of
against. Yeah, did all right. He
he's
came
been
off
out of
obviously, and then
favor.
they started scoring.
yeah, he's been out of favor. You said,
Yeah,
Bobby.
yeah, he's been out of favor recently. Um, what's his name? Simone's been benching him quite a lot.
Because they want to score, Bobby. They want to score. He comes on actually. He plays when he wants defensive. As soon as they go to goal down or something, he comes off, or he doesn't play at all from the start because it's a really attacking team. Yeah, he hasn't used him as much, but he's using what he's supposed to be using for defensive duties. He knows he's not good going forward, so he yanks him off straight away. One of the first ones off when they need to score.
It worked. It kind of
He
worked
worked. Of
yesterday,
course, he
though.
worked. Yeah,
It
he
worked
works.
because they got the goal, and I think he had a part to play in it as well. So,
He's
well,
using
not
him
not
how he needs
him.
to be used. Exactly the way that's how he should be used.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. We saw Tomori leave, and he ended up winning the Scudetto with AC Milan. So we'll see. But yeah, I think we probably have exhausted this.
Oh, yeah, the difference is he's not a key player there, not even close to being a key player. He's not the key player.
Well, that's true because I mean, defenders is more important, and I mean, Tomori did a lot, and he's still doing a lot for AC Milan, I think. So that's true. But yeah, as I was saying, we've exhausted this discussion. It's almost 2 hours now. Um, but yeah, any last words? Why did I say that? Anything you guys want to say before I wrap it up?
What's Rich saying in the chat? There's writing a lot. What is he
All right, I
saying?
didn't. My bad, Rich Money Makers. I'm supposed to be going through this as well. So it says we could have done with Reece James today. Wesley Fofana needs to get fit, or coach will want more bums on seats. Wow.
I don't think they would have made a difference. I don't think it makes a difference. Would have made the way we're set up and the way Everton, that wouldn't have made a difference. Those players.
Yeah, I mean the defense wasn't bad. I would say that it was the bad. I mean, Tosin made a very
Four
vital.
chances they had in the game, basically. Four
Yeah,
chances conceded only in 90 minutes. That's peanuts. That's nothing. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, so it says very good news. Josh, George, Gu are staying. Interesting. Sanchez has been told not to play out from the back, only when it's 100% on, according to Patty. I'm confused.
Who's Patty? Is that your secret source, Rich? Are
Patty.
you? Did you just give up your secret source?
Exactly. I was wondering. I'm saying this is your secret source, Patty. Okay, interesting. After the Sassy has been improving in training. Interesting. Right. So he says, I repeat, our coach doesn't want to be keeping doesn't want to be keep on playing Axel the Sassy as right back. We decided not to play Josh today because of the environment. Interesting. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, of course, this house is more experienced, stronger. The weather conditions as well. It's actually suited Disasi pretty well because he's a big, strong guy, and in the wet, it helps a lot. It's you don't know being really fast in the wet like that and the weather. It doesn't help. The way he is, Disasi is perfectly built for weather like that. He's actually faster than a lot of the players because he's got that power in his legs to move to run. So yeah, like you saw Neto. Neto was doing really well. I think he was actually doing pretty well, Neto, to be honest. He wasn't that bad. He was taking players on, got past players. Again, he's a power runner. He does well in the wet because he's got those big, powerful legs, and he could do that in Sancho. Not really, not as much. But yeah, they didn't do too bad.
Oh,
Patty one source. Okay.
it looks like he actually gave up his source because he's saying one source. Okay, wow.
I'm
I
gonna look
think
into
probably,
it now, Rich. I'm gonna find who Patty is.
yeah, it could be a code word. It could be a code word
Well,
for
it's a
the actual
nickname,
person.
but it's a shortened nickname, so it's usually Patty
Is it
something
Patrick?
else.
Is it Patrick? Is it Patrick? It could be
Patrick, Pat,
Pat. Yeah.
it can be Pattinson, it can
Mm,
be quite a lot. But yeah,
interesting.
there's not that many at Chelsea, so I'll check. Rich, you're in trouble now.
Is it Patrick Maguire? Oh my gosh. But yeah. Thank you guys for joining. You want
Thanks for having us.
everything else you want to say, Bobby?
No, I think we've covered it for the moment. It's all eyes
Let
on
Bobby watch the
Fulham
game. He needs to watch
in
the
a
game,
few
and
days.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, if he decides to watch it, that is, because who will watch a nil-nil
They're
game?
always highlights.
Yeah,
Highlights are always the way, aren't they?
yeah.
Well, Merry Christmas, guys. I don't know if you're going to stream before then, but in case you don't.
It's possible. It's possible I could. I mean, a lot. I mean, depending on what. Well, we'll see. We'll see if we'll get a Christmas gift. To see what Mudrik's still breaks my heart, because I didn't do a stream on it on Mujit, but we'll see what happens. We're supposed to see what
look,
Sample B says.
he'll be out
So
either way. He'll be out for a while anyway. Either way, it doesn't matter.
definitely. I did more since that stream with Tobago. I did more research, saw a lot more things. There's no way, um, he's not gonna be banned for at least, even if it's like this the percentage of Sample B coming back with it being a positive result. Well, wrong term. With it being negative. Is it negative? I don't even know. 'Cause I'm not a doping expert, but the percentage is very low. And he's gonna get, if it's not 18 months, it's gonna be at least 4 years or something like
No,
that. So
it depends. If it's not his fault and they can show that, it doesn't matter. It's still in his system. But if it's not his
yeah,
fault, that can reduce it down to 12 months, 6 months, depending on the outcome. Yeah, but it can be reduced. He's just not going to get that automatic 4 years. So, and that you can live with, because if we find out, it wasn't really his fault, blah, 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 whatever, and 6 months, well, that's just like a bit of a major injury, not even a major injury. So it's not the end of the world. And I
yeah,
think the
but
club
the
will
end
probably,
of the
if that's the
season.
case, the club will stick behind him. I
Yeah,
can guarantee you that if that's the case. If
If
the
he gets six
findings are
months
that
to
it
the end of the
wasn't his
season,
fault,
then
but he's still contaminated, the club will stick behind him and he'll stay. He won't be going anywhere.
a lot of people have been saying that if he gets 4 years, the club is going to terminate because they did that. What's that? What that player? I keep
Oh yeah,
forgetting his
yeah. If
name.
it's
He was a
if it's found
striker.
like he's deliberate, of course. But that's in his. That'll be a contract in his contract. There'll be a clause for that, and Chelsea will be covered for that. Uh, Clear Lake are too good of businessmen not to have that in a contract. That will get Chelsea out of the trouble. It'll be in their contract, and Mudryk will be terminated, and that will, well, it will help us in a way that he won't be on the books, etc., and that will actually help Chelsea in a way because that will be 100%. There'll be a clause in his contract for that type of thing. The new contracts, there's so much detail. I don't know if Bobby knows about that, but yeah, 100% it'll be in his contract.
Mm. Well, what was the name of that? There was a striker that was at Chelsea a couple years back, and I think they
Mutu.
terminated this Muto.
Correct. Adrian Mutu, yeah, yeah. He's a Romanian striker, so I know him very well. My Romanian background, I know him very well, yeah.
Oh my gosh, Liverpool scored again. It's 4-1. Yeah, they're
And
getting
Mark
trashed.
Bosnich as well, same thing. Mark Bosnich as well.
Oh my gosh,
He did the same thing.
Spurs, Spurs, man, Spurs. It's Spursy. 4-1.
Oh yeah, we always knew Ugand's gonna beat 5 goals, 4 or 5 goals, 100%. They'll probably score another one as well.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah, and
four
that'll be
three.
it.
You never know. Could be 4-3. So because Liverpool look shaky a bit. So
All right. Well, yeah, take care, Ty. Bobby, if we don't speak to you, Bobby, happy Merry Christmas. But I'm sure we'll probably speak to you before then.
yeah,
We'll be on
right.
somewhere. Ty or
Yeah.
Tobago, someone will do a
Merry
stream.
Christmas, guys.
Yeah. So as I said, depending on what happens, if we get any news about Mudryk before Christmas, knowing the media, they may do that. But not the media. Knowing Chelsea's luck in terms of when news come out, it could come out even before the match on Boxing Day. Many things can happen. So we'll see. So if depending on that, if it's before Christmas, then I may do a stream because I mean it's gonna be a very big story. It's not gonna even end after that after those results come out. So if that's the case, then definitely. But thank you guys once more. This is the last question though. Which one makers is saying, do you want Chalaba back?
No.
Oh my god. How about you, Bobby, if you're still there?
So what's that?
Do you want Chalaba back? That's what Richie Money Makers is asking.
No, it seems that the whole Mark Gui thing is it's no smoke without fire. I think they're trying to cover for the chronic injuries to Wesley Fofana. And they won't. I would take Chalobah back, but I think that that relationship is broken, and if anything, they'll go for Gui.
Interesting. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, we did have the chance to bring him back, but I guess the sample size was small then because we had a clause. Was it a sell-on clause or a buyback? I don't remember, but there was some clause that or something to say that we would have the first refuse or something like that. I don't remember. It was some clause though that I think expired in 2023 or something like that. But yeah, let's not dilly dally any further because I've posed in this numerous times and I've, for the sake of answering which money makers question, I decided not to end it yet. But thanks once more. Thank you to Jesus is King who was here, Rich Money Makers, Victor, Roderick, Charles who was here and expressing his frustrations. Obviously, Garvin was here. He dropped by. So yeah, thank you guys once more for watching. And for those who'll be watching after this, um hope you guys share the stream as well. And also the channel got to 3,000 subscribers on Friday, I think it was.
Yeah,
So thank you
congratulations for
guys.
that one.
Thank you guys for helping the channel grow. Slowly but surely we're getting there. And as I said before, the channel will be nothing without the 3,000 people that have opted to subscribe, and even the people that surpassed the 3,000 that ended up watching as well. So let me stop boring you with my monologue and allow you guys to enjoy the rest of Spurs annihilation. So thank you guys once more.
Take care, guys.